get to see what I didn't film earlier because I'm having a total repeat. So this is what happened. As soon as I went into the museum, just after I did those shots, IB texted to say I'm in and told me where he was to come find him. But then Izzy rang. She's all museums out. Her friend is not all museums out, but Izzy's bored to death. But they haven't eaten or drunk anything, so I said, right, go and get something to eat and drink. They want to go back to Chinatown, so I'm like, oh god. So they're going to go navigate the metro. They're confident they can do it, so they've just gone off to do their own thing, basically. Going back to do more retail stuff. This is exactly what we did earlier. Gareth bought us a bit of cake and we shared it, so I said I was not hungry enough for a whole one, so we shared one. And I've got a flat white as well. IB and I have gone our separate ways for a little while. He's gone to look at the maths exhibition and I'm just following my nose. You know how you get these hands-on exhibits in Techniquest and places like that? Well, these were made for King George III's family to sort of demonstrate scientific principles and a sort of, you know, edutainment. There's a whole load of them. They're from the 1700s. This one from 1733 showed the motions of the planets. I don't know what the horses had to do with anything, but they're all around the edge of it. It's a great big tall building. Down there's an enormous big motor. I think we need to have a look. I'm looking at this old map here. I mean, it's a reproduction, quite an old reproduction. The reproduction's from 1769, but that was originally drawn in 1773. It really amazes me how they did those detailed maps in those days. They had little pocket globes, look, so they could trace the voyages of Captain Cook. They're marked out on there apparently. So many things we just do on our smartphones now, don't we? Oh, it's such a different world. It blows my mind. Here's a telescope made by William Herschel in the 1700s. Made of wood with little casters on the bottom, look. Late 1700s it was made. There's a whole section on clockmakers. I mean, probably don't think much of clocks, but actually didn't half make a difference when they could get accurate timepieces for navigating across the oceans. Such an essential part of the actual navigation to know exactly where they were and if they were on course, because if they were off course, could run out of food and drink and all perish, basically. As you know, they had to take everything with them and the journeys took a long time. There's a whole book you can read on that. I'll have to put it up there because I can't remember the name of it, but I've read it years and years and years ago. I really enjoyed it. About John Harrison. Look at this, from the 1400s that was, made entirely out of iron. I'm sure it wouldn't have been accurate at all, but it would have been painted with bright colours originally. Fascinating. Look at that hand. It looks like a key. How magnificent are they? Amazing to think we just get our phone out of our pocket now to check the time. It would have been such a feature in your home. These are both from the 1680s. Oh, there's those pocket globes again. They must have had big pockets. If I put them in my pockets, I'd have a huge, enormous bulge. See that thing there with all the numbers on? That was a mathematical instrument, it was. It was for making calculations needed to make the clocks. Again, we just use our phone now. I was talking about marine chronometers, wasn't I? Well, I don't know if I called them that specifically, but, you know, on ship watches or clocks, they would have had to have withstood so much movement, wouldn't they, and temperature change, different humidity levels. There's the amazing John Harrison. I feel a connection with him because I read the story all about him and how he came to make his fifth marvellous accurate marine chronometer. It was in 1770. I'll leave a link to the book in the description in case you want to read more about it. There's a clockwork radio there from 1999. I can't remember if I had one. I'm just not quite sure. I don't think so. Look, it had a crank handle on it. You could unfold it and wind it up. Looks like he's got a solar panel as well. This might not look like a clock to you, but it is. It's one from the 1600s, 1632 to 1640. I know the original ones didn't have clock faces. They had bells. I suppose that's probably where the word clock comes from the word bell, maybe. Cloche. I'm guessing. People told the time by ear, you know, from the public clocks ringing out. This is the Thames, presumably. Ah, is that Tower? No. What bridge is that? Is that bridge even still there? I don't know. About the buildings bit of it. Once upon a time, there was a man called Charles Babbage. There he is. And between 1847 and 1849, he designed this. You're probably thinking, yeah, but what is it, Imo? Well, it's a calculating machine for doing complicated calculations. But he didn't actually make it. This was never made in his lifetime. It was made by the Science Museum here and it was finished in 2002. It took him years to do it. The final bit was the printing mechanism there, look, the roll of paper there. Oh, look at those teeny tiny little printy thingies. Each result can be a number up to 31 digits long, appearing on the cogs on the far left, and the results can then be printed on the paper. Look, you turned it with a handle. He would have loved to have seen that, wouldn't he? What a clever clogs. I've wandered into the maths bit. I wasn't expecting to see an aeroplane. This will probably have been IB's favourite bit, but he goes through these things so much faster than me. Oh, hello Guinevere. It's a lotto machine from 1994 on BBC TV with Noel Edmonds. I thought it was going to be all boring in here. I thought it was going to be all numbery, but it's not. There's all like physical things that make you feel different emotions when you see them. So this is from 1972, a little bit before my time. It's a bookmaker's settling machine, an electronic calculator used by betting shop assistants to work out winnings in complicated multi-race bets. What even is that? Dog racing tote machine from around 1933. It was for calculating odds in dog racing. Whoa. Here we have an astonishing display of mechanical calculating machines that range from the year 1900 to 1970, and they are fascinating. Well, I just can't even conceive how on earth they must have worked, and why have they got a handle on them? Wowee. That is a pretty massive cash register. You probably can't tell how big it is. I probably need to like do a selfie by it, but it's from 1970. It's this big. Well, it looks bigger in real life actually. It doesn't look that big on the screen. It's a teeny tiny pocket calculator from 1973. Oh, with one of those red numbered display things, yeah. I think we've all seen an abacus before, but this one's from about 1900. There's another set of those calculating rods for complicated multiplications and divisions. That's absolutely tiny. That's from 1690, that is. And here's a calculating machine from 1670. It's got individual dials for farthings, pence and shillings. I just found my boyfriend, he's by there. I sneaked up on him and gave him a little tickle, and he didn't jump out of his skin. But anyway, he was looking at this anamorphic painting of a ship from about 1750. And when you just look at it, it's like, that looks like a bit of a weird swirly wordy thing. But when you look in that mirror there, oh, this is not the right angle. You've got to get exactly the right angle. Let me see if the camera will do it justice. Can you see that ship in the cylindrical mirror? Let's try going around the other side a bit. Oh yeah, it appears as if by magic. I wonder how on earth they did it. I wonder if they did it with the mirror in place so they could see it. The technique's called anamorphosis, apparently. This is from the 1920s. I bet you can't guess what it is. It's a calculator for reinforced concrete. I know. Here's the very famous Enigma machine from 1934, used for breaking codes. Look at this, 1993 GPS receiver. They've come on a bit, haven't they? Look a bit different nowadays. It's not exactly pocket size. I think you know what a computer looks like. Well, check out this one from 1954. Look at the size of it. It's blinking huge. I'm presuming this is the keyboard element. Looks like someone's thrown a load of spaghetti at it, doesn't it? Goodness me, I can't even, well, I don't understand how any of this stuff works. I just find it awe-striking. And here we have an electrical logic machine from 1949. I'm going to wander into the information age now. Oh, I wonder what this is going to be like. I wasn't expecting maths to be as interesting as it was, so let's see. Look at that there. Those are cross-sections of cables, you know, that go under the ocean. They're from 1902. And they ended up getting encrusted with marine life, and this bit was just kind of like kept as a souvenir. It's absolutely covered in bits. They've latched onto it. I honestly could spend days in here. Days. I'm having a little sit down looking at all these old television sets. I don't know if that one's an actual old one or if it was just a replica. My mum had a magnifying screen like this on her TV when she was a kid. Someone made their own in 1952. It's amazing, isn't it? What is this? Number 9. Premier television home built from a kit to a high standard in 1948. Make your own TV kits. That might have been quite an interesting thing to do. A great big magnifier on the screen. I wonder if it's a bit broken or something. Oh, Wow. There's the Radio Times there. Look, Coronation Special, 1953. Oh, that's big, isn't it? What is it, I wonder? I actually don't know what it is. I've been looking for a sign to explain, but I can't find one. I've just had an explanation from a guide here. It's part of a radio transmitter from 1920s, from when Britain was part of a massive empire. So it was for sending messages to different parts of the British Empire and even to ships at sea as well. And it only used Morse code, and this was just a small bit of it. I'm in the medical bit now. Look at this from 1818, a wax anatomical model of a female. She looks quite calm and serene considering, doesn't she? Good grief, you won't believe what this is. It's a pedoscope. It's an X-ray machine used commonly in shoe shops in the 1930s for actually X-raying the bones of people's feet in the shoes to see how well they fitted. They withdrew them because of concerns of damage from radiation. I am loving my time here. I love the way the exhibits are mixed up age-wise, like they really vary. Like there's something here from the 1800s and then there's something from 2012, then we're back to the 1800s. It stops you seeing too many very similar things in a row, and so it keeps it stimulating. But I quite like this toilet. It's for somewhere where there's no running water. You just go in this biodegradable bag, basically. Well, let me just read it to you, because it will be better. Toilets like this were installed in Madagascar in 2012. Many people in the developing world have no access to a toilet. Staggering to believe, isn't it? You know, like 24/7. And provision in Madagascar was among the lowest. So it uses a waterless system where human waste is sealed in biodegradable bags. These are then processed to produce biogas, a source of energy. The waste can also be recycled as fertilizer. It really does horrify me that today so many people don't even have access to a toilet at all. Like, I don't even mean in the streets, I mean even in their homes, in the streets, public toilets, anything, no access. It's staggering. There's apparently a whole aeroplane down there. Oh, and a load of cars. I'm trying not to film the people because it's the rules. Oh, there's another aeroplane and a steam train. I'm not going to fit everything in here today in the time allocated. My boyfriend and I can't believe the girls just shot through here and the V&A and then we're bored within 2 hours. We could be in here for days. Like, we're both quite hungry for lunch, but we don't want to stop looking around. He's in a section which is more interesting to him, but I love the medicine section. I'm so fascinated by it. I wish I could film everything for you, but this vlog will be 17 hours long if I do that. I have to just show you this though, because this is something that just really fascinates me. What do you think it is? Guess. It's... If you guessed an iron lung, you guessed right. Cabinet respirator. Look, it predated like ventilators that we have now for people that can't breathe on their own. They'd be lying in here on their backs looking up at that mirror there, and the machine, by using sort of suction vacuum or whatever, I'll read the thing for you now for better explanation, would force the rib cage up and down so you would take air in through your mouth and nose in that manner. There we go. It was sealed around the body so a pump could regulate air pressure inside, forcing the person's chest to rise and fall. It was from the days of polio. This is a medical isolation trolley from 1976 for treating patients with very infectious diseases. I've come up to the top floor to look at the flight exhibition. There's loads of old planes hanging from the ceiling and you can actually get up quite high. I am literally expiring from lack of lunch. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end this vlog and I'm going to carry on in the next one. So I'm going to go and find my boyfriend and see if he wants lunch, because I've got a feeling he does. So thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!